Hello, my name's Heidi. I went to my first cat show recently, and today I will tell you all about it. Now, cat show was a little different than I expected. I wasn't really sure what to expect besides a bunch of cats being judged. And at this cat show, it was put on by the Cat Fanciers Association, and we went to the one in Bowling Green, Ohio. And it was at their fairgrounds, so it was just like a setup like in a giant pole barn type building. And there was the first little room we went into had vendors, only two vendors. I was kind of surprised there's only two. And one was selling only cat shirts, and the other one was selling cat shirts and some cat accessories like toys mostly and other little trinkets. And then in the main room is where all the cats were, and this was kind of amazing to me. There were just rows of tables with cats on them, and they were all in like little kennels. And this style of kennel I had not seen before. It was made by Sturdy Products, and they seemed to be the most popular brand there. There were some that were like metal cages, but mostly it was this Sturdy brand, and the cats just seemed so relaxed in there. It was very amazing to me. I think part of this is because they were mostly purebred cats, like Maine Coons and Persians, and they were probably raised as kittens in this cat show environment. So there was no meowing. The cats didn't really seem to be in distress at all. Like when I take a cat to the vet, they're always upset and sad in their cat carriers and they're anxious at the vet. This was nothing like that, which really surprised me. That these cats are just raised as show cats. And I think it's like a giant hobby for cat people who love going to cat shows. They spend a lot of time grooming their cats, especially the long hair cats, to make them show ready. And then at the end of the rows of cats, there was 4 or 5 judging stations. And the judging stations, of course, there was the judge, and around the judge there was cages for each cat that was going to be judged at that station, and there was a number above the cat cage, and each cat, I think when they register, they're assigned a number, so they would just call the number, and then the cat owner would just come up and put their cat in the temporary cage real fast, and the cats weren't squirming. They weren't trying to dart away. They were all calm. As a person that's only really had American short hairs that have come from outside, that this type of cat behavior just seemed unusual to me. But I think it's just how these breeds are, or how they were raised as kittens. And my cats are probably a little less friendly because of how they started life outside. And we sat down and watched one of the judging sessions that was of kittens, and some of them were Maine Coon kittens, and they were just huge, like even as kittens. But they didn't seem scared in their cages. Some of the cats, like they would play paws under their cage with the cat next to them. They just sat there patiently waiting their turns. And then when the judge took the cat out, like the cat wasn't upset, or most of the time it didn't seem upset, the ones that we saw. And they would judge them. Now, the criteria for the judging was a little unclear on that. We did ask one of the judges, and it said they have like 45 seconds to a minute to judge each cat, and some of it's based on like certain things for the breed. And one thing he mentioned was checking the position of their ears, which he would use a toy to like kind of interact with the cat, and then I suppose he was looking at their ears to see if they were in the right spot. So, it was neat to see all these cats. And of course, they were all like super cute and awesome. And then we saw some that were, at least one, that was polydactyl, and he had huge front paws. So I don't know how that fits into the judging. Like, how do they consider the polydactyl? Is that a good extra bonus points, or does that take away, or was there a whole separate class just for polydactyl cat judging? So it was an enjoyable experience. And at this cat show, they did have a small number of household pets. So I viewed this whole thing like a giant cat club. Most of the people seemed like they were of retirement age, not all of them. So maybe this was going to cat shows was their hobby. At this cat show, there was no money to be won. So it was just a hobby of things people like to do with their cat. And they spend a lot of time like grooming their cats and getting them ready, especially the long hair cats. There were also some breeders there that were advertising their cattery of their cats. Like some of them were from out of state, so that was interesting, but no one tried to get us to buy a cat. It was not like a high pressure environment. And of course I wanted to pet them all, but some of them were in their kennels sleeping. Like they had signs like "Don't pet, you're too germy" or whatever to touch my pet. And the kennels, most of them had like one side for the cat, and some people had two cats, and one on each side. And most of them had like a little tiny litter box for the cat. But some of them didn't have a litter box. I don't know how that worked out, or maybe they just put one in some of the time. It was definitely a unique experience going to this cat show, and I would recommend it if you wanted to see cats, or if you were interested in a certain breed. Like most people were willing to talk about their cat, so you could definitely go there and learn more about a certain breed of cat that you might be interested in, especially if you're about to spend hundreds of dollars to purchase a cat. It's a good idea to know more about them. But in general, like we went in the afternoon, it could have been busier in the morning, but there were not really that many cat visitors there, like visitors like me who didn't have a cat in the show, which I also thought was interesting, which also made it feel like just a big giant cat club. And I'm assuming a lot of these people know each other because they might all go to the same shows. And one lady did tell us that after the cat show, they get their cats secured in their hotel room, and then they all just go out and hang out together at a restaurant. So it was a good time, and if there's ever a cat show in your area, it might be a fun activity to do just to see more cats. This was the shirt I bought while I was there. I wanted to have a little souvenir, and it's been a while since I bought a cat shirt, and it's purple. It has a cat on it, so two of my favorite things to look for when I buy a t-shirt. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. That helps it grow and more people to find it. I appreciate your support.